Welcome builders, part 2 of how to build a mansion. This video sponsored again by Pickle Hosting. Use them, 15% off with the code andyisyoda. A couple of changes to my plans. Thank you for all the people who pointed out a couple of wee errors in my plans from the first episode. So quickly rectifying those at the start of the video. Today it's all about as many wall tips as I possibly can give you. So the next stage that I would do in building a mansion is just put on my main wall all the way around on top of my red foundation. So this is going to be brick all the way around, and I'm leaving off some of the walls at the front because they're going to be kind of a nice facing sandstony brick that I've chosen in the UTB texture pack. I'm choosing it's a kind of a soul sand. Here it is going on just to be kind of a fancy facing wall texture. I guess that's a tip really, isn't it? Sometimes you want to make the front of your mansions a bit fancier than the back of your mansions with some really cool different colours that combine well together. And now I'm on to the inside walls. Oh, by the way, I built those walls up 6 bricks high on top of the foundation, 6 bricks high. So the inside walls, what tips could I give for the inside walls? I would say tip 2 here would be make your walls not all just one colour. I don't know if you can see it here, but we'll definitely zoom in a minute and you'll give you a good look. I've put like a sandstony brick at the bottom, then I'm using diamond, which is this kind of fancy wallpaper pattern in this texture pack. Oh, here would be tip number 3. Here I've got some external walls and brick meeting some internal walls. We've got this little join here, and this join is kind of horrible. It looks disgusting. Ugh. So you're going to disguise that like I did just there with some shelves or some bookcases. Maybe show you that again towards the end. So I'm going to show you here tip number 4. Make your walls 5 bricks high. It means that posters like paintings are centered on the wall, which is good. And your 6th brick is going to be the ceiling. Okay, so the walls are in place. Now it's time to turn our attention to the windows. And I like to just make them extremely plain windows to begin with. Just almost placeholders. And then afterwards, go back and think about the fancy detail and trim shutters or stair blocks you can use above and below the window. But it's best to make sure that they're centered. Here you can see that that window isn't quite centered on that wall. So later on I go back and I kind of make sure that dining room window is centered. Okay, the next tip would be, if I put this line on, you can see line up all the tops of the windows, especially on the front of your house. And that gives you a consistent look and just a rather pleasing look to the front of your house if all the tops of the windows are at exactly the same height. Okay, so I'm just making sure that all the windows are built. I'm just looking around for some more jobs to do, adding some internal walls, just the door jambs, the areas above the doors, linking them together as well, making sure I've got kind of a 2-space height for the door, like a Minecraft door. Minecraft doors are too small, unfortunately, so you could use things like shutters, or if you've got World Edit, you can use double doors, or things like that. But definitely you can leave a gap above the door, and I've just put in a slab of dark oak above most of my doors in this very traditional type of mansion. So just a few more jobs to do. It takes a long time to build a house. All these little blue dots getting turned into foundation block. So I don't know if I really mentioned this tip before, but I have changed the bottom layer of the house into a foundation layer. So I guess that really is another tip for you. Make a unique foundation layer and add your house on top of that so that you step up into your house. Just the last couple of details here, then I'm going to go into first person and we're going to go over some of those tips that we've learned today. Just adding a ceiling in, that's why I built the internal walls only 5 high. Just adding snow. If you can't use snow, then wool is good as well. Okay, well, let's bring all this together. First off, some more tips and things to do around your houses. This is a 5 wide window, and often in Minecraft it's quite good to divide these up into 2 and 2 with a split down the middle. You can also maybe do things like this and just bring the window up and over like that to make it look pretty cool, and maybe do something like that. It's up to you to make it as fancy as you want. You can also put in some very special details at the bottom, that way up, this way up, whatever you think looks good on your windows in your house. There's loads and loads of choices of stairs the right way up, upside down at the top, or the right way up at the top. They both actually look really quite cool as well. So loads and loads of choices with your windows. Play about and see what you like. I would say don't go over the top with windows. Sometimes I see people do this kind of thing. Let me show you. Let me grab some of that, some of this, some of this. Some people go crazy with the windows, and I see this sort of thing. I used to do it. Right when I started, I used to do things like that, and it just, when do you ever see windows like that in real life? It doesn't happen. What is this big weird wooden Minecraft frame? Don't fall into that trap. That's just don't, okay? Other tips we learned: when we have one particular kind of outside wall meeting another one, I kind of solved that. You may not have seen it on the actual speeded up part of the video. So how do you make your door here? It looks really weird. So what I actually did over in the corner around there is I just took the wall out like that, a couple of blocks, and it just looks a lot better. And what you can do is that, and what you've probably what you've got is some sort of indoor wall there which will disguise the join. So that's what I did over there. So that's a wee tip for you for disguising different types of wall joining up. Now, when you're on the inside of your house and you have different walls joining up, this is a tip I was going on about earlier on. Remember what I said? You could either make that, hopefully here you would have another bit of wall at the back. Usually you do. You can make that shelves, or you need to disguise that with something like a bookcase or furniture or another internal wall coming across. It's often a good place to put another wall just coming up like that, a column. It just disguises the join between the outside wall and the inside wall. So windows we have kind of covered. Corners of buildings, often a good place to put some detail in, especially if you've got a really nice palette. What I mean by palette is you've got a couple of blocks working nicely together. So sandstone and brick, they kind of both got kind of reddish hues in them, and they work very well together. So look for bricks that just are pleasing to the eye, that work together. And once you've got those bricks, you can do some fancy details in the corner if you want. Often quite a good idea to stick to the same kind of brick. Now here's a little fancy design. So right way up, upside down, right the way, upside down, right the way, upside down. Not bad. That's one design which looks quite good in the corner. You could also do right way up, upside down, and then upside down, right the way up, and it creates that little double kind of space in the middle, double gap, and you just continue with right way up and upside down like that. It creates just a little bit of an illusion of depth and detail in the corner. Again, your walls are kind of 6 blocks high. So let's put all those together. If I do /back, you can see a builder. We've got It's Toby on the server who's taken the plan, saw my first video, and he's a little bit further on than we are. He started the roof and all the details, but have a look at his windows. I thought we could learn a lot from them. Very cool indeed. So he's gone for upside down stairs there, right the way stairs up here. He's got his fancy design on the corners as well. Here's a nice window using some doors as shutters. Very effective indeed as well. Another window. Now this is clever. I didn't think of this. I didn't think this is the window into the dressing room, and he's actually raised it up. Of course you don't want anyone looking in at you when you're getting dressed in the dressing room, so just having that window coming up a couple of blocks, very clever. And you can see he has put all his windows, like I said at the start, on the same level at the top, and I think that looks really cool as well. What was interesting for me here is he made this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks, which means this window is too wide, can't be centered, but it kind of does look centered because he's put this detail here. So this detail can kind of help you when you have a wall which doesn't have a window centered in it, because the window does look centered, but the detail is what's doing that. So well done, Toby. We'll have a look at how his house is doing compared to mine when we finish it. But that'll do for this episode. Hopefully Toby doesn't do a better house than me. Maybe he will. You guys will be the judge. I'll let you see this house when he's done as well. I think he's actually still building. Is he still building? Yes, here's the guy. There he is. Weird skin. That is for sure. Oh, how can he clone himself? That's how he builds so fast. Sneakiness. Very sneaky. Ciao, ciao. May the blocks be with you.